Hi, Brad and Pamela from Wellness Within here, helping you to stress less and thrive. You know, we're dealing with an unprecedented situation, and at least for most of us, it's a situation that is not only totally beyond our control, but it feels scary and overwhelming. And while these emotions seem to be justifiable, living in a state of fear, worry, anxiety, and overwhelm only will increase your risk of getting sick. So, what can we do? Well, we can tap. And for those of you unfamiliar with tapping, tapping calms the fear center of the brain. It lowers the stress hormones in your system and it enhances your immune system, as well as brings peace and calm to your body. Seems like it would be a good idea to do some tapping to release some of those scary emotions. So Brad's going to lead us in a few minutes in some rounds of tapping. And all you need to do is to copy what he does, copy what he says. And I'm going to be doing the same. I'm going to be tapping right along with you. And before we do that, though, you might want to pause this video and wash your hands because he's going to be guiding you with tapping on points on your face. So go ahead and pause for a moment.
Okay, assuming you're back, let's get started. Before we start the tapping, I'd like each of you to tune into the emotion right now as you think about what's going on in your life. Is it fear? Is it anxiety? Is it worry? Are you overwhelmed? What is that emotion? Make note of it. And then on a scale of 0 to 10, where 0 is, I don't feel it at all, and 10 is, wow, this is off the charts. Where do you fall in that continuum? Make note of that number. It's a guesstimate. And now let's get started. So tapping along with me, tapping on the eyebrow point. What's going on in this world is scary.
Let's repeat. What's going on in this world is scary.
The side of the eye. There are so many questions.
There are so many questions.
Under the eye. And so few answers.
And so few answers.
Under the nose. The bad news is so constant and it's coming from everywhere.
The bad news is so constant and it's coming from everywhere.
And the chin. I have no control and I feel so helpless.
I have no control and I feel so helpless.
Just under the collarbone, part of me feels scared.
Part of me feels scared.
Under the arm, part of me feels overwhelmed.
Part of me feels overwhelmed.
On the karate chop, and most of me feels anxious.
And most of me feels anxious.
And on the top of the head, I find myself living in a constant state of worry.
I find myself living in a constant state of worry.
Back on the eyebrow, a state of what ifs.
A state of what ifs.
Side of the eye. What if all this craziness goes on and on?
What if all this craziness goes on and on?
Under the eye. What if the stock market continues to crash?
What if the stock market continues to crash?
Under the nose. What if the economy continues to tank?
What if the economy continues to tank?
On the chin. What if we go into recession?
What if we go into recession?
Under the collarbone. And what if I lose my job?
What if I lose my job?
Under the arm. What if my family members lose their jobs?
What if my family members lose their jobs?
In the karate chop. And what if I run out of money?
And what if I run out of money?
Top of the head. And can't pay my bills.
And can't pay my bills.
On the eyebrow again. What if I can't take care of my family?
What if I can't take care of my family?
Side of the eye. What if we run out of food?
What if we run out of food?
Under the eye. What if I get sick?
What if I get sick?
Under the nose. What if my loved ones get sick?
What if my loved ones get sick?
The chin. What if this doesn't end soon?
What if this doesn't end soon?
Under the collarbone. This is so scary.
This is so scary.
Under the arm. This is so overwhelming.
This is so overwhelming.
The karate chop. I am so anxious and so worried.
I am so anxious and so worried.
Top of the head. All of these unknowns are so scary.
All of these unknowns are so scary.
The eyebrow again. I can choose to do things that I do have control of.
I can choose things to do that I do have control of.
Side of the eye. I can choose to stay informed without listening to the news 24/7.
I can choose to stay informed without listening to the news 24/7.
Under the eye. I can choose not to add to the panic.
I can choose not to add to the panic.
Under the nose. I can choose to practice social distancing.
I can choose to practice social distancing.
The chin. I can choose to make rational decisions.
I can choose to make rational decisions.
Under the collarbone. About the food I eat and the money I spend.
About the food I eat and the money I spend.
Under the arm. I can choose to remind myself I'm doing the best I can.
I can choose to remind myself I am doing the best I can.
I can choose to believe others are too.
I can choose to believe others are too.
Top of the head. And I can choose to believe this is only temporary.
And I can choose to believe this is only temporary.
Eyebrow one more time. I choose to do things that make me feel better.
I choose to do things that make me feel better.
Side of the eye. I choose to limit my exposure to negative news.
I choose to limit my exposure to negative news.
Under the eye. I choose to think of things I'm grateful for.
I choose to think of things I'm grateful for.
Under the nose. I choose to remain positive.
I choose to remain positive.
The chin. I choose to be flexible.
I choose to be flexible.
Collarbone. I choose to be patient.
I choose to be patient.
Under the arm. I choose to remain calm.
I choose to remain calm.
The karate chop. I choose to support my loved ones any way I can.
I choose to support my loved ones any way I can.
And I choose to maintain hope and believe I'll be okay.
And I choose to maintain hope and believe I will be okay.
Now take a deep breath. And now tune into that emotion that you called up before we got started and check on its intensity. Did it go up? Hope not. Did it stay the same? Did it go down? We hope so.
Remember that how you respond to any given situation contributes to your level of stress, and your level of stress determines the strength of your immune system. It's normal in circumstances like these to feel emotions like fear, worry, anxiety, overwhelm. It's not normal to have them be over the top. Tapping is a great tool that you can use at any time to lower the levels of negative emotions and feel better. From Wellness Within, we wish you health and well-being.
Be well.
Bye now.
Thanks for joining us.